Hey, Coach. I guess the obligatory injury question. Then I'll have a follow up after that.
Um, no update on James, but Kai had an MRI, sprained ankle, and is out tomorrow.
Okay. You had mentioned. Well, let me follow up on that. Do you believe that Kyrie has a chance to come back in this series based on the MRI?
I That's above my education. Though I did go to one of the great schools in the country. It's just not my expertise, so I have no idea. I have to wait and see how it progresses. I think, and then, or the experts would have to wait and see how it progresses, and then give you a clearer picture of what kind of the window would be for his return.
You had made the comment earlier in the playoffs that one of the things you were curious to see about your team was what happens, you said, if we get punched in the face. Do you feel like you have now gotten punched in the face, and how do you feel like that reaction has been by your team?
Well, I mean, I think largely we'll see tomorrow night. It's how we respond from this now, and I don't think we played our best basketball, especially offensively. We didn't play our best basketball in Milwaukee, but um, this is what it's all about in the playoffs. Is you're going to have ups and downs, you're going to have momentum shifts, you're going to have adversity, and it's about how you respond. So tomorrow is a great opportunity for us to show what we're made of, respond in a positive way, and put out our best performance of the series.
Malika Andrews with the ESPN.
Steve, just clarifying that no update on James means he's out tomorrow, correct?
I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I might have to wait for someone. I think he's working out right now. So I have no idea if that means he has a chance for tomorrow or not. I think there's a, plan behind the scenes that I don't totally know what the deal is, and then they'll give us an update. But he's working out now.
Okay, thank you. And then, Kevin just spoke with us. He said that he's ready to take on whatever and do it all like he might any night. But, that's a big burden. I know it's Kevin Durant, but what are you communicating to him about what he needs, what you need from him, and what this team needs from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think we try to stick with our principles and our, fundamentals, which is connectivity, competitive spirit, embracing the opportunity and going out there and playing together as a team. This does not fall on Kevin. This falls on the Nets. We got to find a way together to play great basketball, both ends of the floor. We've proven we can do it. We've had a great series offensively in the first two games, defensively for the most part, and now we got to put it together in a pivotal game 5.
Bruce Beck with NBC New York.
Steve, I don't know if Santa Clara equips you to answer this question, but just how confident in your group are you, regardless of the fact that you might be down to your stars?
Well, it's tough to lose, great players, but we've lost guys all season. So if there's any silver lining, it's that we've continued to win games this year, regardless of who's been available. We've been able to adapt on the fly, which is difficult to do sometimes. But for us, that's something we've had some experience with, and we should have some comfort and belief that no matter who plays, we can still perform and play well and be very difficult to beat. So I'm excited for our guys. Great opportunity, no matter who plays, to play in a really big playoff game at home and improve from the last game.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
Hey, Steve. I had 2 injury questions. One for Kyrie. Do you have a grade on that, say 1, 2, or 3? And secondly, with James, you said he had to go through multiple high-intensity workouts before, he'd be cleared to play. Would today constitute one of those? Would you consider whatever he's doing now as one of those? And has he gone through any ones before?
I don't know what grade Kai is. And as far as James, that's a great question. I don't know. I don't know what today constitutes. Those things are, with the performance team. I'm sure that it's a different framing during the playoffs and the regular season. So I can't really answer that either. We feel like he's been progressing really well and he's having a workout today, but I don't have an update or anything further than that. I don't know if they're framing it the same way. And maybe I spoke out of turn to say, from what I heard in the regular season was, consecutive or, high intensity loads. I don't know if they're going to frame it the same way in the playoffs or not. So I don't really have much more information on James.
Greg Logan with Newsday.
Steve, I have a couple of questions. The second one I'll just follow up with. But first of all, obviously, you guys played through KD quite a bit after the injury. Do you change from that with a day to game plan in between? That's the first question.
Well, yeah, I think we definitely want to play through Kevin. We want Kevin to have a big imprint on the game, but it's a team effort. We have to everyone has to pitch in, and we have to play the way that we've played for the most part this season. And that's obviously been something that we've had to face. We're different guys, different lineups, combinations, rotations, and we've adapted. So, hopefully we can make a further adaptation tomorrow and play better and feel more confident and comfortable.
And then the second is there's a report that Mike D'Antoni is interviewing with Portland for the head job. Can he do that remotely, or did he have to go to Portland? And does it impact your game planning in any way?
No, Mike's here with us. I'm assuming that would be on Zoom or over the phone, and he hasn't missed a beat. He's been here doing everything with us. I don't like to fine my coaches, but if Mike steps out of line and I got to levy a big fine on him, I will definitely do so.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach, how's it going? Just thinking about without Kyrie and obviously without James, provided that neither of them are able to play tomorrow, does much change for you from an X's and O's standpoint, or is it just now too late to make any drastic points in the game plan and you have to go with what you've been doing all season?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle. We have experience with this, right? We have experience where different guys are unavailable, and so we've been pretty good at adapting and adjusting. But no, we can't scrap everything. So it's still going to be in the ballpark of what we've done throughout the year in this situation. The reality is we can focus on creating mismatches and isolating or having the first domino fall through, our one-on-one ability when everyone's available, but when less are available, the balance shifts a little bit. So, but we've been through it, and we'll adapt, and we'll have a great balance and put our guys in a position to succeed.
Brian Mahoney with the Associated Press.
Hey, Steve, you've defended these guys pretty well in this series, but obviously the points are having a tough time coming now, and maybe even more now if Kyrie doesn't play. At the point where you might have to sacrifice some defense and change your lineup up and get more offensive-minded players in there, or are you comfortable that somehow you're going to get the offense you need with the guys that are out there?
I think that's something that we have to be willing to adjust to on the fly. I don't know that we necessarily make that decision or come in with a preconceived agenda, but we know that we can press that button if we need it. But there's also lots of things we can improve upon regardless of who's on the floor. So I think it's possible, but we're not going to necessarily make any huge adjustments to start the game. We'll look to refine what we do, but know that we can make those adjustments if need be.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, you've said all season long that, you're going to embrace the craziness that comes with this year and put a positive spin on it. And it also just seems like every time you guys have had, an injury, a guy comes back, another one goes down, it's been in constant flux. Have you ever felt like you guys just can't catch a break with some of this, or you haven't let your brain go there?
Yeah, I mean, we've however you want to look at it, we've had some bad luck this year. I'm sure other teams would say the same thing. So we don't like to dwell on the bad luck or the negative. We worry about what we can control and the positives, and we have a great opportunity here to play in the playoffs against a great team on our home floor and to take the lead in the series. So that's exciting, first of all, and it's a great opportunity for our players. And so we're focusing on what we got to do on the opportunity at hand and all the work we've put in this year that'll give us an opportunity, regardless of who's available, to win the game.
Vince Goodwill with Yahoo Sports.
Hey, Steve, given the way that yesterday was a physical game and the officials let a lot of stuff go, do you anticipate tomorrow will be a little more tightly called? And secondly, there's been a lot of conversation about Kyrie's injury in terms of how it occurred. Did you believe there was anything nefarious or dirty from him landing on Giannis's foot, or do you believe that Giannis was just playing and it just happened to be wrong place, wrong time?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to go inside Giannis's head and make any proclamations. I thought it was an awkward play. He ended up getting underneath Kyrie when he was in the air. I think it'd be a big stretch for me to sit here and say he meant to do that in any way. I don't believe that's the type of person he is, nor is that what I believe happened. It was just awkward and unfortunate. I can't remember what your first question was. That was the second part.
Just about, do you believe that tomorrow's game will be more tightly officiated considering yesterday's calls?
It's fluctuated a little bit. It was a little different the first two games and the second two games, and that's fine. I mean, that's the part of being a good team, is being able to adapt and adjust and figuring it out and solving problems. And so, we'll look to focus on what we do and try to do it better, and also be adapting to the way the game's called. That's a part of playing basketball and playing in the playoffs.
Ian Begley with SNY.
Steve, given his competitive nature, how much push do you expect to get from James Harden to play in Game 5? Either he's pushing the training staff or you guys. I mean, have you heard it from him already?
No, we'll see. We'll see how he does with his workouts and how he progresses. I've tried to leave him alone as far as that goes. Let him rehab. He's still a big part of our team and meetings, and when we travel and all that stuff, he's just been great. But I just want to let him do his work and focus on that. And when he's ready, he or the performance staff will let us know.
Ian O'Connor with the New York Post.
Yeah, Steve, as a player, I think you were fairly lucky when it came to injuries until late in your career with the Lakers. But if Kyrie does have an opportunity to come back in Game 6 or 7, how hard do you think it would be for a primary ball handler to deal with a lower leg injury like that and just be effective trying to manage the pain as he's running the team?
Well, it can be very difficult, but it just depends on the individual and the injury. These injuries are different for every person, and everyone's got a different body, a different game, different mentality, and so you add it all up, and it's not a linear equation all the time. So it could be very, very difficult, or it could be something that he shrugs off quickly. It's just a matter of all those factors, and it's really hard to predict.
Thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, everybody. That's it for us today. Have a good one.